Welcome to a very merry brand new episode of Sequel Rights, the podcast where we take a look at the franchises that make you go, they made how many of those? And we give each and every sequel a fair trial. My name is Justin Camps, and I'm here with...
Elizabeth Helly.
And...
Tyler Hymanson.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're kicking off a brand new franchise tonight. I could not be more excited.
A special holiday franchise.
We're doing our first Christmas special.
Themes.
Dashing through the snow.
Don't sing that. We'll have to pay for it. Yeah.
Never mind.
I feel like we're already paying for it.
No, that one's in the public domain, I think. Never mind.
Jingle Bells? Is that what song I was singing? I don't know.
They could sing the Open Water too, baby, to sleep with that song.
That's right. No, I can't even. No more Frere Jacques. I can't do it. It's like PTSD.
All right, so we're kicking off a new franchise today. What are we talking about today, Justin?
We're talking about The Santa Claus, starring Tim the Toolman Taylor. I mean, Alan.
I can't even do it. You do it.
That was pretty good. That was a good one.
I can't do it. Despite my man voice, I just can't get to that weird level.
It's tough. I'm not good at it either. So.
What was the thing that they used to yell out at the beginning of Tool Time? Like the audience would yell out something, right?
I don't remember.
I can't either.
I haven't seen that show
Very
forever.
90s, yeah.
But yeah, we're looking at Disney's The Santa Claus franchise, and why don't we kick it off with that trailer?
Dad, I heard a clatter.
Somebody's on the roof.
Maybe it's Santa.
Not now, Charlie.
This Christmas, Scott Calvin's getting into the spirit the only way he can.
Hey, you!
By accident.
If something should happen to me, put on my suit. The reindeer will know what to do.
It is Santa. You killed him.
Did not.
Check out Santa's sleigh.
When you put on the suit, you fell subject to the Santa Claus.
The Santa Claus? What does that mean?
It means you put on the suit, you're the big guy.
Santa?
And we're back. Christmas is all happening right now. It's December, and there's no better time to watch it than right now on
90s Christmas.
25 Days of Christmas.
Oh, yeah. So it's definitely the
Freeform.
first one and the third one are going to be showing on Freeform as part of their, or ABC Family, as part of their 25 Days of Christmas. But then the second one, wasn't licensed to that channel. So it's on, one of those other cable channels, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's somewhere. So it's going to be on TV a bunch. They're all coming to Netflix.
Yep.
Or they're on Netflix maybe now. By the time you hear this.
I think December 12th they're going on Netflix, according to the article.
So they will be on Netflix, so you can watch along, or you have the VHS copy worn down at your home.
You can watch your special VHS copy with sex line included.
Yeah. The sex line was included in the one I watched, by the way.
There you go.
Yeah,
Really?
I rented it on Amazon for $2 or whatever, and it still had the sex line. Explain the sex line.
So the sex line, there's a line in the movie where Tim Allen's given his wife some shit about her new husband, and she leaves the phone number, and he makes a joke of the number is 1-800-SPANK-ME. I know that number. And I guess some kid in Washington called the actual 1-800-SPANK-ME, which was a sex line, and racked up a bill for $400.
The kid was like, I also know that number.
And so there was a whole lawsuit against Disney for including a sex line in their movie. And so when the Laserdisc came out, they struck it from the Laserdisc in all future releases of the movie. But apparently 1-800-dial-in sex services are not as big of a threat now, so Amazon concluded on their digital streaming.
Yeah, well, did yours have it? You watched it on Blu-ray, right?
I don't remember.
Mine was I rented it from on the Apple TV, and it was 1-800-pound.
Oh.
Yeah. So you sure that's
not
what it was?
funny at all. No, it was definitely 1-800-SPANK-ME because I wrote it down. And I was like, what the hell? And then later I read the article about the phone sex controversy.
Yeah, maybe that's not an issue anymore. But before we get talking about what happens in this funny family Christmas film,
besides the sex lines,
let's talk about. Let's go around the room and see. Do you guys have any relationship with this film? Have you seen it before?
Definitely saw it. definitely saw it in theaters. When I was watching it, there was some lines that I knew what was going to happen before people said them. And all around remembered it far more than I thought I did, and remembered it more fondly than I thought I did. There was, I think that interrogation scene where he's saying all the different names, and it's like, Topo Shisho.
Yes.
That is the thing that me and my brother do to this day.
I was thinking the same exact thing,
Yeah.
except that I think I had a friend who did it all the time, and I thought it was really annoying. And he
was it me?
Yeah, I don't know. I was like, that's so weird that you say that, because apparently must have been a thing that people were like obsessed with that line where he goes, Papa Shisho. And I'm like, when it happened in the movie, my blood was like, stop it.
Oh, when he's saying Santa Claus in different languages?
Yeah.
I was like, what are you guys talking
He goes,
about? Okay.
Papa Shisho.
Yeah, I am.
And
I
was
don't
like,
know. I'm
kill me now.
Santa Claus.
I'm sure that I watched this movie growing up, but I don't really remember. I probably saw it on TV or Disney Channel or something like that. But when I really remember watching this is actually in college, because my friend Vicky, like, these three movies are, especially the first one, are like her favorite. So she, around any time, like in December, Friday night, Saturday night, like multiple times in the same year, she'd be like, hey, guys, we're gonna watch Santa Claus, and like force everybody to watch it. And sometimes, like, if she was feeling down in the middle of the year, she'd also watch it. So that was when I most remember seeing it.
That's impressive.
And this is also a weird time for like the Disney family movies where like the kid is like from like a divorced family, where it's like Angels of the Outfield, and like I believe Mighty Ducks is kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because his
broken
mom
home.
Yeah.
gets on-
I didn't want to say broken home. That was the thing that came to mind, but you know, like not necessarily. But yeah, it is funny that's kind of in this. It's 1994, we should say.
Yeah.
And this is Tim Allen's feature film debut.
Yes. Yeah, I mean, I watched this when I was a kid as well. I don't think we probably saw it in theaters either. I'm sure we rented it and we're like, oh, wow. But I've seen it a ton of times. I don't really watch it on TV again or anything, but, you know, I think it's really cool that it's kind of become this, like, holiday favorite that people go back to. And, you know, as you'll see, there's several more movies. So, yeah.
I think a thing that I'll say, and maybe this I'll dive into kind of my first thought on this film, is that one of the things I remember really deeply and had a strong connection to with this movie is there's all these fantasy and technology elements to the design of it, where like the North Pole is this magical fantasy place, but there's like a digital keypad, and like the elves have jetpacks and shit like that. Yeah. Which, like, as a kid, I really liked and really like, oh, like this type of thing. And so I was kind of embarrassed as I was watching this movie. I was like, I thought that was like the coolest fucking thing as a kid. Like, I thought that, oh, like there's a keypad and like tinsel can cut steel.
The North Pole is a garage door opener.
Yeah. And so I was embarrassed by it. And then I looked at who the production designer is. And the production designer was Carol Spear, and she was David Cronenberg's production designer on The Fly and Dead Ringers, and Guillermo del Toro's production designer on Blade 2 and Pacific Rim. And so she kind of has this blending of fantasy technology, this kind of grounding with I mean, it's really dumb in this movie, but like there's a nugget to it that I really associated with as a kid, and it's really interesting to see it kind of blossom out into all these different movies that I also love.
Yeah, I mean, all that stuff, I agree. All that stuff is really cool even now. I mean, like, I can totally see how a kid would be, you know, like, wow, this is how the North Pole works, because they kind of, like, quote-unquote, explain away all the, you know, questions.
The magic.
The questions that you have about, like, how does Santa do?
Yeah.
They kind of explain it with, like, technology and
magic.
They have a hot chocolate maker and all this cool stuff, you know?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. It's like a Thor-like technology and magic, and like there is one, and it's cool. I really
watching it as a kid, you're like, this totally makes sense. I believe it all.
I do remember specifically really liking that he was able to go to houses that didn't have a chimney, because, you know, like, tons of kids at this point are living in apartments and don't have chimneys, and that's kind of like a bummer. And so it was cool that they, like, explained it away that way.
Yeah, that was awesome. So why don't we, you guys have, like, specific scenes you want to talk about? I know we didn't do, like, we didn't do a quick, like, summary of the film, because I feel like lots of people
Everybody
see this
knows.
movie and
Tim Allen accidentally kills Santa, and so he
Yeah.
has to become Santa.
exactly.
Right.
He has to do the Santa Claus,
Which is, this is the movie that introduces to Santa canon that Santa can be killed.
Yeah.
That's right.
He's
And
a
then
mortal man.
He's trying to keep his son partial custody of his son too.
Yeah.
But it was funny because in the beginning, the kid really didn't like Tim Allen, and like you're not really sure why. I mean, they say he's a workaholic, but like he, other than not being able to cook, like he seemed like a pretty nice guy, you know. Like, but the kid's like, I don't want to stay here. Like, I don't know. It was weird.
Yeah, well, they kind of. I feel like with his ex-wife, they implied that maybe he was like sleeping around or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because, stuff that happens later.
Oh, the pajama thing or whatever.
Yeah. Judy gave you those pajamas. A waitress gave you those pajamas.
So yeah, he ruins the dinner. They have to go to Denny's. Like I remember that scene always being.
That scene's okay, so
It's so sad. Yeah, it's such a cliche.
It's
But
an
it's
amazing sad scene that's fucking hilarious.
He just looks around,
There's a section at Denny's where all the divorced dads are there with their kids after they fucked up dinner, and this section is full.
Yeah, and when he first walks in, he's like, "What? Americans love Denny's," and and it's like all these like
Japanese businessmen.
these like Asian businessmen like going, "Ha."
What was that Japanese
Going,
businessman impression?
I didn't want to say anything else.
They are just laughing heartily.
They were and talking loud. But I had a question for you guys.
Yeah.
So, in the beginning, we see that Tim Allen is an awesome business bro.
Business bro. He's hosting the Christmas party.
He works at a company that makes toys.
Yep.
And their big top-selling toy is called Do It All For You Dolly.
Yep.
But I'm curious what you think that she does.
It's
How does this
It's
doll
not just
work?
do it all, right? It's
This-
do it all for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Yikes.
doll slices. This doll dices.
I was
this
like-
doll makes a beef stew.
As soon as they said what it was called, I was like, what? What is that?
Yeah.
There's a part actually.
Sounds like a sex doll.
Yeah,
sorry.
it sounds like the first
Yeah.
fuckable kid's
I
toy.
know.
I mean, it cries and it shits, right?
Yeah,
But that's not for you.
Yeah.
It could be.
I don't know.
Like if it was do it all Dolly, I could see it being one that poops and
depends.
pees.
There's
and-
Depends on your audience.
There's
Hair
a, part,
grows.
there's a part when his ex-wife is saying something like, "Oh, is this because of Do-It-Yourself Dolly?" And he's like, "Don't bring her into this." And then she starts saying like what I think is maybe like part of the jingle for her or something, because you can hear her in the back because she's like in the background, but she says like, "Don't you burp me, don't you change me." So I'm like, is it some doll that like
Yeah.
burps herself and
No,
changes her own diapers?
it's actually just a wooden doll that doesn't do anything, but it's like it's a doll that you don't have to care for.
I was just like, I don't know.
It
I
is
thought that was weird.
it is unclear.
I mean, it's not important, but
No.
stupid things that I latch onto
Yep.
after having seen a movie several times.
Yes.
So, he distracts Santa, and Santa falls off the roof, basically, is what happens. And in a lot of the trivia and behind-the-scenes thing, they talked a lot about how the original idea was for Tim Allen to take a shotgun and shoot Santa down off the roof.
I like that better.
Oh, man. They could not have made it a family film then.
Well,
No.
I mean,
Well,
if he did think it was an intruder, I guess it makes sense, but still, like,
Yeah, does
ugh,
Michigan have stand your ground?
that would be so... Oh. I mean, I probably...
Also, there are guns in this film later on. So
There
it's
are.
not
There are.
like,
Apparently, the original script was much darker, and then Disney bought it, and then
Yeah.
lightened it up, and then threw a coke addict in it.
Exactly. There are also no child in the original script.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So I actually have to bring this up because this is fucking hilarious. Justin found a review and put it in the show notes from the Seattle Times from Jeff Shannon. And he's praising Tim Allen's performance in the movie. And he's like, yeah, there's always an edge to his comedy. He's like, it's as if being funny were a defense mechanism he developed while serving a real-life jail term for a drug offense. You get the sense that this guy's been through something, and his comedy's richer for it. and then the next line, like, you think that, oh, like, this guy knew something. He's like, but whatever it is, like, he's great. And it's
Yeah, I
like,
did read that it was like one of the first times that Disney decided to break their no cons policy for hiring. Like, I don't know, like
Oh,
how
interesting.
true that is.
I
but
don't-
Apparently, they had a very strict no cons.
I
or no ex cons.
I don't know how much public knowledge, and we were talking about this before we started recording, how much public knowledge the cocaine thing with Tim Allen was at the time.
I have no idea.
I mean, either.
But he trafficked a ton of cocaine in Kalamazoo, Michigan. He was the coke dealer in the 70s, and the only reason he didn't go to federal prison was that he ratted out like 12 other people that were supplying him.
It's like an
Yeah.
Orange is the New Black situation.
All I know is that at the time I was a kid and had no idea about any of that stuff.
Right.
I thought he was funny, and then I remember that he was putting a book out, and someone was like, somebody that I know was like, oh, don't buy that book because he does coke or whatever. And I was like,
Oh, yeah. They also said that when this movie came out, he was like one of the first people ever to have the #1 film, the #1 TV show, and the #1 book all in the same week or something.
That's pretty crazy.
EGOT.
Except
doing
none of those. Yeah.
Doing it. Tim Allen's doing it.
Book show. BSM. Book show movie.
Can we talk a quick second about the music in this movie?
Sure.
I'd love not to.
So, no, it's, so it's like typical Christmas film. They've got, first song that shows up is Carol the Bells. And then, of course, we get the iconic Clyde McPhatter and the Drifters version of White Christmas.
I hate that version, for the
Which,
record.
I love that version. How dare you even
I
say
was watching the
anything?
movie with my roommate, and I was like, ugh, not this version.
It's the
She's like,
best version
"What?"
of the song.
No, the best version is from Holiday Inn, where the song originated.
No, that is not true.
How dare you?
This is the best version, but I mostly remember it from Home Alone.
Uh-huh.
Oh, yeah.
I don't think of it as being from this film, but I love how they use it in this movie. Because they pretty much every time they use it like multiple times in the early on in the film, and it's always after Tim Allen says something stupid. You know, he says like, "Well, kid, I burned the turkey. Guess we're gonna have to go to Denny's." And then they're at Denny's, and the kid's like, "Can I get chocolate milk?" And they're like, "No, we only have regular milk." And you're like, "Okay, regular milk's fine." And then and then he's like, "Well, we're done at Denny's. Guess we're gonna go home and do nothing."
Speaking of like Tim Allen saying stupid stuff, I just felt like the whole movie was him making jokes only for his benefit. Like the people around him like didn't hear the jokes or react to them, but he would just like keep saying jokes, like that 1-800-SPANK-ME thing, and like no one's reacting, like no one's being like ha ha, but he just says a joke and starts laughing to himself, and then everybody else goes about their business.
Yeah, well, it's because the people that
he's an asshole.
and the
That's
people
what
that he's
assholes
talking
do.
to usually are like a child who probably doesn't get the joke, and then his ex-wife who's like, "Really,
Who's over it.
Yeah,
really,
that's true.
Scott?"
And then a bunch of elves.
who are also children, but
Yeah.
not really
Children.
but actual children actors.
Yes.
But still creepy visually.
Yeah.
No matter how old they tell me that they are.
There's also that scene where he
Creepy.
hits on that child actress, kind of.
Yep, creepy.
Does he really though? I think
He says,
he just says,
"You
"Oh,
look
you're
good
really-"
for your age," and she goes, "I'm already dating someone," and he's
Yeah.
like, "Ooh, yikes!"
Well, because she says she's like 1,000 years old, so it's like a crack. It's not a come on, I don't think. But,
It's
Well, they make it weird by her going like, "I'm already dating someone."
there's so many looks in this movie of Tim Allen being overweight and in sweats and in public parks where he just looks like a pedophile in a way.
kids are
that's-
lining up to sit on his lap.
in a way that is hilarious.
Yeah. So, should we read the Santa Claus out loud?
I think if we say it 3 times fast, what happens?
Justin turns into Santa.
I'm already halfway there. So.
What, with your beard?
Yeah, just need to dye it white. So, he goes to the North Pole and he's freaking out like, "What is going on here? I'm not Santa. What are you talking about?" Because everyone's like, "You're Santa.
Yeah.
You're in charge." And there's this elf. Sorry, there's an elf.
There's this alien who hates
populated with elves.
There's so many elves.
Justin, I'm sorry. I think you were saying elf
Elves?
the entire episode. I think we need to redo it. There were many
Let's
elves.
CG in a mustache.
No. There were many elves. And there was this one kind of like, head elf named Bernard.
Who's super Jewish.
Yeah, whose name is Bernard. Acted by David Krumholtz. Who's great in this part.
Yes, he is.
He's like no-nonsense elf. He's like, "Oh, well, you put the suit on, and then you gotta follow the Santa Claus." And he's like, "What's the Santa Claus?" And he's like, pulls out this like, business card that was in his jacket.
But not before like a who's on first over the clause versus like CLAUS versus CLAUSE. Like, what's a clause? No, the clause, not the clause. It's a clause with an E. Like, they go back and forth like 8 times before he finally reads the stupid
Get
card.
it? Wordplay.
So he takes out the card and reads it, and here is what the Santa Claus reads as. It says, "In putting on this suit and entering the sleigh, the wearer waives any and all rights to any previous identity, real or implied, and fully the duties and responsibility of Santa Claus in perpetuity until such time that the wearer becomes unable to do so by either accident or design.
And by design, is it like, can you just set up like a Rube Goldberg machine that makes you not be Santa?
I think they're hinting at suicide.
Yeah.
Santa Claus killed himself. Can't take it anymore. So the next guy who finds the suit.
Yep.
becomes Santa.
Sold the shotgun.
Yeah.
You are the Santa.
I mean, this is jumping way ahead, but while we're on the subject of the death, at the end of the movie, the stepdad, who's a 90s psychiatrist with Cosby sweaters, he's like, hey, kid, you'd be a really good psychiatrist because you know how to talk about your feelings or whatever. And the kid goes, I don't know. I think I'm going to go into the family business.
Patricide.
So he's going to kill
I thought
Tim
that
Allen?
same thing.
Like, what?
I was like, holy shit.
He's going to kill his dad.
But then I thought about it.
What if that child actor did kill Tim Allen?
Whoa. It could still happen.
Eliz? Is he plotting to kill Tim
Allen?
Do you want to know? I do want to know what that
Okay,
kid's up
so
to.
Eric Lloyd, who played the small child Charlie, he was in like a couple more movies as a cute little 90s kid.
Is he Jake Lloyd's brother?
No, certainly not.
I wanted to be in Star Wars, and all I got was a Santa Claus.
He got a BFA in film production from Chapman University, and
good.
now he owns a studio not 10 minutes from here in Glendale called LP Studios. Where they
interesting.
film like music
Snuff
videos.
films.
No, it's like music videos and demo reels for people and like record songs. And it looks really nice from the pictures. But
If he lives in Glendale, I think we should get him on the podcast.
I think we should.
okay, let's call him.
Jake Lloyd, if you're in earshot.
No, Eric. Jake Lloyd's in prison, isn't he?
I want to talk to Jake Lloyd.
Why'd you do this to us, Jake? Why?
And he was also the lead singer of a band called Radio Mason. I don't think they've been active since 2015, but they had some pretty big like gigs at really big venues around LA. So
Interesting.
good for them.
Like Starbucks?
No, like there was one I was laughing. It was at the John Lovitz Comedy Club, but there was also like other ones. Like I'm not good at the venues around here.
I guess if we're gonna have
They
him,
played the Greek.
if we're gonna have him on the podcast, we can't make fun of his band.
All right, let's not make fun of Radio Mason.
I'm not.
He's the lead singer though.
and neither is my tone. It wasn't doing that at all.
So that's what Eric Lloyd is up to.
Sweet.
And I'll check back in when we talk about the other child actors later.
And there's a bunch.
What were you gonna say?
Santa Claus.
Pausing for effect.
Yeah. Affect. I mean,
We were talking about him killing his dad.
Yeah. We were talking about the Santa Claus.
As he should.
after I thought about it some more, I was like, oh, he probably just wanted to keep working on the sleigh or something. Like, he's not going to kill him.
Which
I
makes
don't
no
know.
fucking sense. Like, he gets up there and then like they're like, oh man, your son's really helping us with some stuff, and like he like invents.
He's an engineering genius at the age of 6.
Maybe by design they mean, like, I'm going to pass on the mantle of Santa to you, my son.
Ugh.
Maybe.
Do not go into the dark side.
Can you die of old age, or do you not age once you become Santa?
I don't think you age.
I feel like you don't age.
Okay.
Because it says you can just do it for forever, basically.
It says in perpetuity.
Yeah.
But you just what if you just get like older and older and look more and more gross every year?
Well, like, but he ages like 40, 60 years.
He doesn't actually age.
Right, but like he looks like an 70-year-old.
Yeah,
man.
once he puts on the Santa suit, he starts to slowly develop
Santa-like characteristics.
Santa-like characteristics, which leads to one of my, I think probably my favorite scene in the movie, when he first wakes up in the morning and notices that he's fatter.
Yeah.
And he still has to go to work, so he throws on some sweatsuit and like a jacket.
He's like, sweatpants are all that fit me right now.
And we cut to a scene. Yeah, we cut to a scene where like, there's a board meeting and everyone's in there like, oh yeah, so what toy are we gonna do? And then like he walks in and they're like talking normally, and immediately they're like, oh my god, as they see him, and he comes in and takes his jacket off to reveal like these
He's
really
fat.
tight fitting sweatsuit. And the sound of everyone going, there's like gasps from the boardroom table.
They're
like
body shaming him.
Yeah.
So mean.
and he's like, oh, I just got stung by a bee, no big deal.
And then they all order food for the meeting because business meetings have lunches.
And they're ordering food like they're
Very
living in
90s,
like
yeah.
they live in LA or something.
Yeah.
Like, oh, can I get
I'll have a celery stick with a seltzer water.
Yeah, can I get the dressing on the side, please?
Yeah. And then he orders like, a full smorgasbord
Of desserts.
And this is my least favorite music cue in the entire movie.
Oh my God.
Because it's like, like what do we have that ends with a timpani drum?
It's so dumb.
So they play the Jeopardy theme while he's eating a hot fudge sundae.
It's like, yeah. And I guarantee they only picked it because of that, like, quote unquote, fat ass sounding timpani at the end. Because as soon as he finishes the thing, like, he looks up and he sees everyone's looking at him, and it cuts back to him, and then it goes boom, boom.
I should have just got a tuba to follow him around. Boom, 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 boom.
There's a Friends commercial that I am in where it's a spec spot for Crunch Gyms, and I am following a fat person around with a tuba.
I've seen that. What? And you're like, you're fat.
That is the thing.
I have no idea what we're talking about right now, but I guess we'll post it on Twitter.
But one of the things I'd like to bring up is that if you go to Box Office Mojo for this movie, that it appears on a list, and it is number 4 on the list of all fat suit comedies. Because apparently that is a genre.
Wait, what are the first 3? Are they all the Crumps or whatever?
It is. Number 1 is Mrs. Doubtfire, and then it is 2 of the Austin Power movies.
What?
With Fat Bastard.
Fat Bastard.
Oh my God.
And then it is
what about Nutty Professor?
Santa Claus.
Where's Nutty Professor on the list?
It's in the show notes. I'm not sure.
He does it in he plays 10 different characters in fat suits. How could he
Box
not
Office
be...
Mojo goes by dollar bills.
Oh, okay. What about the one with Gwyneth Paltrow or whatever? That
Shallow
was,
Hal.
Yeah, that was ridiculous.
It's probably on the list.
That's number 15.
Number 15.
Miss Doubtfire has a fat suit?
I guess just because he was fatter as
he's in
a
a
woman.
fat suit.
I guess.
It's a gender suit.
I don't like it. Get it out of my fat suit comedies. I used to go
fat suit comedies need to be pure.
Yeah, I used to go to Blockbuster and be like, "Excuse me, sir, where are your fat suit comedies?"
Can you direct me to the fat suit
and
section?
they'd be like, "It's around the corner in that area where no one
technically,
goes."
if he did fake boobs, boobs are just sacks of yellow fat, as they said in Crazy Ex-Girlfriend.
I guess. Man, what was I gonna say?
Oh, his fatness. So he goes to the doctor and shows off his prosthetic fake fat stomach.
Which doesn't look great.
Yeah.
Which was really funny because the doctor's like, "You're totally fine, bro."
Yeah. He's like, "I've gained 45 pounds in a week," and he's like, whatever.
Oh, what have you been eating?
He's Dr. Spachemin.
Yeah. The guy's like, well, I've been eating lots of candy and cookies. And he's like, okay, maybe that's why.
Does his heart play Jingle Bells?
It does. It goes ding, 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 ding. And then he's like, the fuck? And he goes back in to listen again. It's like, ding, ding, ding. Huh? Ding, ding. And then it's like, end of scene. There's no he doesn't follow up on that.
He's like, you need to wear this heart monitor for the next 2 weeks. Yeah, nothing.
You need to get to surgery right now.
Yeah, he holds up a microphone and goes like, I gotta record this shit.
Sir, you're actually dead.
Yeah. Oh, man. I had a question about the mechanics of this film, you guys.
Yeah.
So in this universe, the universe of the Santa Claus, Santa
Clausiverse.
Santa
Dark
is
theater.
Santa is real. Okay?
Uh-huh.
There's no questions about that.
He's the
Wait,
real
Justin,
deal.
what? That's this universe.
No.
That's all universal.
All our
universes.
children listeners, Santa is not real. I'm sorry.
How dare
You're living
you?
a lie.
Although our
I'm
podcast
popping that
does say
bubble.
explicit because we can't stop cussing.
Yeah,
So.
well, it's fun. Yeah. Anyway, so in this universe,
Santa did exist. He's just fucking dead.
Santa is real. But there's all these adults that are like, Santa's not real. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
But Santa is real.
Yes.
So I want to know, what are these adults doing when they show up at Christmas morning and there's all these presents they didn't buy?
Right.
There's, he's pulling out a giant kayak out of his fucking Santa bag.
There was a puppy at one point.
Yeah.
They're
Are
like,
the
oh,
adults
like-
just like, oh, my spouse must have got that.
I think that's exactly what it is. And the thing that's fucked up about this movie is that both of the parents, the ex-wife and the new husband, the reason that they don't believe in Santa Claus anymore is that they have a story. It's like, there's a time where I asked for something, didn't fucking get it, fuck that guy.
Yeah, so where was
that was
Santa
probably
then?
the year that Santa died, and the new Santa was I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
No, but that's the thing, is like they don't explain as like, so he knows what everybody wants. Like, why didn't they get it that year?
Maybe they were bad.
Yeah, that's true.
Maybe
but
they
I was
were.
thinking, like, that first night that Scott Calvin becomes Santa Claus
Yeah.
is Christmas night, and he didn't know what he was doing, so did he fuck up that Christmas, and there was no... And
No,
since
because
Santa is real...
The United States is the last place to finish Christmas. So if he was in... What, is this place takes place in Michigan?
I need a map.
Yeah, so he really only had to do, like, the rest of the United States and then Hawaii, and that's it.
Okay, but he also didn't know what he was doing, so...
Yeah, but the reindeer did everything.
Which
right?
is one of the... Oh, speaking of, Frank Welker voices
Yes.
Comet.
What?
Yeah.
I did not see that. What does Comet do? Go...
What, yeah,
He goes, Prime!
He goes, roll out. That's so dumb.
It's insane. I think the funniest part of the movie is when he is that first night where he's Santa doesn't know what the fuck he's doing.
Yeah.
And like he's just talking shit to children.
Yeah, he ruins that girl's childhood forever.
Yeah.
And then fixes it later.
yeah, I tried to...
Does he?
She's the one I had trouble finding, Sarah. Her name is Melissa King.
Oh, dang.
I'm pretty sure that she's a child and youth worker at the Toronto Catholic District School Board, but I'm not 100% sure. Like, it's doubtful.
I thought you were going to be like, I'm pretty sure she's a child.
No, she's like the exact same age as me and Tyler. She was born in 87.
Oh, cool.
You might know her.
I might have been a child in Toronto.
Since you're the same age, you probably know each other.
She's from Mississauga. I don't know how to say
Never heard
that,
of it.
Yeah.
Misswauga?
Miswaga.
But yeah, he tells her
Gesundheit.
that he's lactose intolerant.
Yeah, and then later she has soy milk for him, which I thought was actually pretty cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's one of the cuter kids.
And that's one of the things where like so yeah, he has a real piece of shit to her the first night, and he takes a celery stick and doesn't drink the milk and cookies. And then she has soy milk for him the next night, and he's very
Next
nice.
year.
Yeah, I'm sorry, the next year. And he's very nice and understanding. And he's like, oh, I think the milk's gone bad. And she's like, you told me you were lactose intolerant. He's like, I did say that. Like, you're a good girl. And it makes me wonder, for Santa Claus 2, how is he going to be an asshole? Because at the end of this movie, he's a really nice guy.
That's a good question.
Yeah.
And the thing that makes this movie work is watching him be a piece of shit wearing a red suit.
Yeah. You know what else I really want? I want some of that hot chocolate. Okay?
I want some of that.
Magical hot chocolate.
I want some of that perfect Judy hot chocolate.
Compact disc.
Yeah, that was hilarious. There's a scene where Tyler was talking about this earlier, but Charlie, the child, with the help of some elves, like redesign the...
Pimped my sleigh.
Yeah,
There's an elf
yeah.
who's basically Q from the James Bond films.
Yeah.
He has a British accent and everything.
We put in what can they? Sorry, it's
It's
called
like
vertical
snow
takeoff.
screen, vertical takeoff, like
Yeah.
like CBD, ba ba ba.
GPS system.
Yeah,
And we also put in a CD, and they're like, he's like, ooh, compact disc player?
because at the time that would be exciting.
Yeah. And he's like, no, Dad, it's a chocolate.
It's a cocoa and
yeah.
cookie dispenser.
Yeah, cocoa and
so it would be a
cookie dispenser.
CCD, but for the joke to work. And so basically, it makes the cocoa, and in the sleigh, it spits it out, and then a cookie shoots out of a CD slot.
That was pretty funny.
So at some point in the year between where he first found out he was Santa Claus and the next year, there's a lot of custody drama. Neil, the 90s man, and the mom, they get freaked out
That's
by
a
the whole
superhero
Santa
I wanna learn
thing.
about.
Yeah.
90s man.
90s, man.
He is wearing like hardcore Cosby sweaters that they keep making fun of him
Beep
for.
me.
It's
No, not Jack. It's my only weakness.
I don't know what you're talking about.
What?
Played by Judge Reinhold.
Yep.
And they talk to him and the whole Santa thing, and so they get the judge to take away his visitation.
Judge Reinhold?
And it's very sad. No, the actual judge.
They got a
Federal
judge.
judge.
Federal Judge Reinhold.
Yeah.
The action figure variant.
Yeah.
Now it's Senate confirmation.
So yeah, for the next Christmas, the kid basically just like takes off, and they think that he kidnapped him, and he just goes to the North
No,
Pole.
it's a super fucked up. I mean, like, yeah, a lot of things happen. Like, he slowly becomes fatter and whiter, and
Yeah.
there's a lot of scenes where he's trying to shave the beard, and it grows back, and
There's
like,
a-
it's
yeah.
magic. He's magically fat.
And people just like seem to just know he's Santa, especially kids.
Yeah, kids just know he's Santa.
Yep.
They can feel it in their bones.
They can tell. They can just tell.
Yeah. And then,
During this whole time where he's like in between, there's this amazing scene where they're doing like they're in Charlie's classroom at school and they're doing like a bring your dad to work day or to class day or whatever. And it opens up with this scene of like this firefighter. It's like close up on his face and he's super serious and he's like, so remember kids, there's nothing more painful than 3rd-degree burns.
and then the teacher's like, I think everyone in the student body would, is joining us. Is mourning in the loss of your partner.
Yeah. It cuts to the kids' faces and they're all like jaws open like.
Yeah, and then the teacher goes, now's probably a good time for the therapist.
That was so funny.
Which is fucking hilarious.
It was so funny. Oh god. And then there's there's more stuff with the teacher too where the Charlie's saying like, we went to the North Pole and saw all the people, and this other bully kid is like, oh, were there elves there? And the teacher's like, Bobby, we don't say stupid, and we don't say elves. They're little people.
And I will say that the teacher is Mary Gross from SNL.
That's
and
right. I
from,
thought she looked really familiar.
A Mighty Wind and some of the
Yeah.
other
She's in that
those
group.
movies. She's really, really funny.
So she killed it in that like
Oh,
one scene.
speaking of like people that are in one scene, I don't know if you noticed in the marketing meeting where Tim Allen was eating all the desserts, the guy that gives the presentation about the like Santa tank toy is what's his face from Darkman 2, the scientist that he's gonna work with, the Dr. Brinkman guy.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even notice.
That's crazy.
That's amazing.
So
We should have noticed this.
Maybe the thing that's putting it all the weight is all the fake skin.
That's true.
anyway,
That's how you put on all that weight. It's the liquid skin.
liquid skin.
Dr. Brinkman's secretly adding skin
Dr.
to him.
Brinkman's patented liquid skin.
Oh god.
So yeah, there's a lot of really fun riffs on the Santa lore. Like he gets his really fun riffs, guys. He gets
Totally fun riffs.
Santa Claus riffs. He gets the list. It's shipped to his house in a bunch of red boxes. He has to go naughty or nice.
Yep. And he walks around town looking at the kids like, oh, Steve, nice. Bobby, not nice.
And then he hits on a hot blonde.
Veronica,
very nice.
Yeah. And she's like, not in your life, Santa Claus.
And he's wearing in this scene like he's super fat and has white hair, and he's wearing the most 90s windbreaker, like that's just like teal with a red collar. It's amazing.
Yeah.
Oh man. Oh, I did like it when Charlie first leaves to go with Santa or Scott to the North Pole for their second Christmas. The mom just walks out and she's like, Scott? And then she just stands in the front yard and goes, Charlie!
Yeah, I thought the same thing. She does another like half-hearted scream.
Yeah.
Just like in Species 2 when he's like, daughter, are you in this alleyway? She did the same thing. Like she went open the door and was like, Charlie.
Or like
It's Arnold Vosloo.
My skin, my hands.
Yeah. Terrible.
How could you?
Okay, so they go out for the second Christmas and Santa gets arrested for kidnapping his child.
Yeah, that was funny. Santa goes to jail.
So do you want to talk about your favorite scene?
My favorite scene?
Yeah, the like when he's being interrogated by police.
Oh, so
yeah.
So yeah, he's being interrogated by police and he's saying like they said okay guys, I don't know if you know this, but in this movie, Tim Allen's character's name's Scott Calvin.
What?
And Scott Calvin has the same initials as Santa Claus.
What? I didn't notice that at all.
And this movie bludgeons you to death with that fact.
Yep.
And so this hard-boiled detective, it's lit like, classic detective style. He's like, all right, let's try this. I'm going to say name, and you're going to say Scott Calvin. And he's like, Santa Claus. And he just starts going through all the different names for Santa Claus.
How is that
Kringle,
even?
yeah, like Père Noël.
It is just a bit. And
Yeah, I was
one of
like,
the things
how
he
is
does
that even a good interrogation
not.
tactic?
and there was the Topo, and that was a thing that we said a lot.
Yeah, I don't like it.
But basically, he gets caught. They deploy elves.
Yeah, which is not grammatically correct, by the way.
Elves.
It stands for Emergency Liberation Flight Squad.
No, that's not
or something
correct.
like that.
That's
Oh.
not correct.
Effective Liberating Flight Squad.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
It makes even less sense.
Yeah.
Than
Yeah,
Effective
ELFS.
Liberating
And
Flight
when-
Squad.
Really, the plural of elf is elves with a V-E-S.
And the S certainly does not stand for stealth because although they can fly, they make a very big point of just being seen. So they fly, they pick up Charlie.
Yes, but hold on. Let's
Yeah.
talk about this squad for a second, okay?
Yep.
It's called Effective Liberating Flight Squad. So that means that they created this squad and they have it around because Santa must get into some situation where he needs to be liberated quite often.
That's right. He's over.
So Santa goes to jail a lot, or
Yeah.
Or maybe
during
there's
this-
like people that set up traps for him in their house or something. Like they're trying to catch Santa to prove
Right.
he's real. That kind of thing.
Actually, let's
or he
stop
gets
this
trapped
really
by a
quick.
dog or something.
What Santa used to set traps for me as a child.
What?
We'd wake up in the morning and there'd be like strings.
A Rube
and, like,
Goldberg
yeah,
situation?
basically like we had to fight our way down.
That's crazy.
Is there anything that Santa would do when he came to your house?
He wouldn't set traps. I'll tell you that.
Maybe you're a better child than I was.
He would eat the cookies we'd leave out.
Yeah, and Santa would always fill our stockings and get us a small ornament. And so our parents got us like the good gifts, but Santa always used wrapping paper and tags that I had never seen before because I was really involved in the wrapping at my house, and so I would have known if Santa had the same supplies as us.
Same with
but
me.
he always used different ones, and then I remember the first year that he didn't use different ones, probably because he fell asleep and didn't do it till the last second. I was devastated, even though I was already like 12 by then. I was so offended that Santa didn't take the effort to use different wrapping paper. It just like broke my heart.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
I was like, for us, first of all, Santa still gives us presents.
Santa gives us presents as well. Typically Legos.
Yes.
Just get the stockings.
Second of all, our presents from Santa were always unwrapped and open for us to like enjoy immediately. So if it was some sort of like, one time I got a keyboard, it was plugged in, ready to play immediately. That kind of thing.
There you go.
You mean like a musical keyboard?
Yeah.
I was like,
I got a
what would you
computer
do with a
Wow, I can type
keyboard?
fast.
And what
ABCD.
version of White Christmas were you playing immediately?
We're playing the Chipmunks, okay?
All right.
Do-do-do-do.
All right. So I think Santa has been in a gulag. I think Santa has been in a Vietnamese POW camp.
Yeah, maybe every time, maybe every time there's this Santa switchover, he has to go through this situation where the people around him are like, "You're crazy. You're not Santa Claus. We're gonna lock you up in an insane asylum."
All through time, yeah. There was a female Santa in the late 1700s that had to be a sanatorium, had to be broken out.
Yeah, there was a Santa that in Salem who they thought was a witch. And
Yeah.
like,
Actually, I want to see all of these movies.
Oh, by the way, we were talking
Santa
about how he
Claus
doesn't have
1900.
time. There's a part where the kid specifically is like, well, he has time because not everyone celebrates Christmas, which is like a really good point. Like he can pretty much skip over like a lot of
That's
Asia.
true. That's true.
And maybe Africa, a lot of it. Yeah.
yeah.
I don't want to generalize that at all.
I don't know what.
Large portions of those countries or those continents.
So the elves,
Elves.
they fly. They pick up Charlie. Then they
They
fly.
have jetpacks.
Yeah, they have jetpacks, and they're doing like front flips in the jetpacks, which seems wildly unsafe.
Some of the scenes with them in jetpacks are so funny.
They're awful, and so but they can fly. They're magical in some way, and their plan is to walk into the front door of this police station and talk to. The movie is actually pretty mean to police officers.
Yeah.
It makes fun of them a lot.
shoving donuts in the
And just be like they're incompetent, and
Yeah.
like the police have a map of the house of like where they're staking it out, and there's a donut shop like drawn on the chalkboard. But so I looked up. There's this like night guard, like the front desk police guy, right? The actor's called Gordon Maston, and he's been in 104.
That's what he's called.
He's called.
That's not his name, but that's what they call him. Gordon Maston.
His name is his mother calls him Gordon Maston. His name is Gordon Maston. He's been in 104 films.
Whoa.
Okay? 104 films. This in this movie, children best him by wrapping him up in ribbon.
Yeah, they shoot ribbons out of their dicks. I don't know if you saw that, but that's what was happening.
That's what happens.
They stand around him like, yeah. It's like wrapping paper,
And they
shoots out of their groin area.
Yeah. So, but allow me, and you can imagine what this guy looks like. He's the fat cop with the mustache and like the balding hair. Like he looks like you picture a stereotypical cop. This guy. He's been in 104 movies. Here are some of the roles that he's played in these movies. Man in Hard Hat. Desk Orderly, Second Sailor, Prison Doctor, twice, Desk Sergeant, that's Santa Claus, Bartender, Boat Captain, Dad/Pony, Bus Driver,
Dad/Pony,
Hot Dog Vendor, Hot Dog Man, Moonshiner, Conductor, Fast Food Policeman, and then Reception Officer again in 2015.
Wow.
Hot Dog Vendor, Hot Dog Man.
He's made quite a living for himself.
Dad/Pony. What is that even? What movie was that?
So he does a lot of voices, and he is the voice of Big Mouth Koopa from the Mario TV show.
What?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that is a fun character dive into that
Character
guy.
actors.
I'm Googling Dad/Pony right now.
Don't look. Don't.
Oh yeah, it brings up those pony up dad saddles. Have you seen those?
What the fuck?
It's like
it's
like a saddle. It's like a saddle
it.
you put on your dad, and then you sit on when you're a child.
What about your mom? Who said that your mom?
They're called pony up daddy saddles.
Pony up daddy.
No, daddy pays for it.
Daddy pays for everything.
There it is, right here.
It
doesn't look creepy at all.
God.
I think we'll post about this.
Sure.
Yep. Pony up daddies out there. Moving on.
Yeah, so
the elves bust him out of prison.
Yeah, and then they bring the kid back. Everybody cries. The mom, for some reason, she looks into Tim Allen's eyes one time, and then all of a sudden believes that he's Santa now.
Yeah, that's what I didn't.
He is Santa.
That's what I didn't understand either. It's like he had some magic power over them.
Yeah, like once she, for some reason, saw him, then she was like,
he didn't even say anything.
Yeah, he didn't say anything.
What's the vampire thing? It's glamoring or
yeah.
Huh?
You've been glamored.
You've been glamored.
Okay.
It was basically like, well, he's dressed like Santa Claus, so I guess
He has the beard.
Yeah.
He did kidnap my child
You
for
know what?
2 weeks.
It checks out.
Yeah.
Santa?
Yeah, I mean, they all make
You're
up.
Santa.
She burns the restrictive custody visit papers, and Neil apologizes.
Because Neil gets a dick-shaped whistle.
Yeah. He gets the Oscar Mayer Wiener whistle, and she gets a mystery date board game.
Yeah, I guess that happens afterwards. But
Yeah.
Neil's like, I believe now.
So yeah, when they're having this
'Cause I got a hot
heartfelt
dog
Has a little bit of a
scene-
mental breakdown.
They're having a heartfelt scene in front of the house where she's telling the police, like, no, you don't have to arrest him. It's okay. We've solved everything or whatever. And there's all these, like, neighborhood people watching being like, let Santa go, let Santa go. And, like, little kids and stuff. And then for
So many
some
kids.
reason, they start to reveal that, like, half the kids are actually the elves just dressed up as kids, but, like, their ears are showing. And it's like, why are they there?
Yeah.
Like... And then why didn't they just they were all wearing beanies and they didn't bother to pull them over their ears.
Do you know why? Because if it didn't go down that way, if they didn't let him go, they were about to go murder shithouse on everybody.
Yeah. They need to make sure everything
It was
going to
be a
smoothly.
bloodbath.
And I mean, I know obviously the ears are not covered so that the audience knows that they're elves, but like it just seems so illogical to be like, just cover your ears with
You
all
also have
those
to remember
beanies.
that they're at least hundreds of years old.
There was a bunch of insert shots that were cut of them seething knives and putting pins back in grenades.
Or maybe they're just like hungry for drama and they wanted to see all the drama because
when you're
life in the North Pole.
Yeah, when you're an immortal, you want to see the petty squabbles of custody battles for mortals.
Okay.
It's the most exciting thing that happens.
Anything
right.
else about the end of this movie?
I think that's about it.
I think that the one thing is that he fully becomes Santa and becomes a good guy and learns all of his lessons. So it's gonna be really interesting. Like it does not really leave it open in terms of what's gonna happen next for him.
He becomes a good guy by fully abandoning his son to do a job in a foreign country.
But his son can look at him through a snow globe, okay?
A magic globe.
That's true.
Yeah.
I think
Oh, go ahead.
One thing that's funny about this is that Neil and what's the wife's name in the movie? Sarah.
Who
I
knows?
don't remember.
She's dressed as every 90s action hero.
Yeah.
She's dressed as Sarah Connor in this movie.
Yep.
She's dressed as Uma Thurman in Pulp Fiction
Exactly.
in this movie.
The actress's name is Wendy Crewson,
Yeah.
who most recently was the TV host reporter that screwed over Brie Larson in The Room and made her try to kill herself.
Oh, damn.
Oh, spoiler alert.
But on Christmas Eve, they're making what appears to be pitas and Greek food.
That was weird. Yeah. That was really weird.
So recently there's this 2020 special about Christmas movies. I think Justin said it's on Hulu right now if you want to watch it. But they have a whole segment about Santa Claus, and they revealed a lot of the stuff that we already said. The trilogy so far has made $470 million worldwide. But the thing I thought was most funny that they revealed in this special is that Tim Allen legitimately hates children, and he was like, I hated being around all these kids. He's like, they would come to talk to me and I would just be like, go away. Even the main kid, he said a few nice things about the main kid, but you could tell that there was not really love lost there as well. Yikes. So yeah, he actually hates children, but yet kept doing many child things.
Yeah, and he's dressed as Santa.
Yeah, and the main kid is the Fievel of these movies.
I thought he did a good job. He's everything you wanted out of a 90s child actor with divorced parents.
Yeah, and he's not
annoyed the fuck out of me.
I didn't think he was that annoying.
I liked him, yeah.
He wasn't terrible, but I mean, what I'm saying is I side with Tim Allen here.
In general.
Yeah, in general, cocaine, yes, children, no.
Whoa! Nice.
So, just one more child actor check-in. Also,
I think you named it right there.
Bernard,
child actor check-in.
David Krumholtz. I mean, there wasn't anything that, weird about him because he's still out there acting. He's kind of in the Seth Rogen squad and has been in all those kind of Apatow movies and then in small parts. But the main one that I was proud to find was Judy, the elf that everybody likes because she's so cute. Paige Tamada. There are tons of articles online of people being like, where is she? We can't find her. She doesn't act anymore. I don't know where she is. But I have found her. What? So I found out that she went to Cal and graduated. She worked at Macy's while living in San Francisco with her French boyfriend. Thanks to her uncle's tweet about her. So
we're going to uncle tweets?
Yeah.
Sources?
Whoa, that's...
She then mentored a student who was also from Cal and was enrolled in the Macy's Store Management Development Program.
Wait, how do you know that? Wait, how do you know that she mentored someone?
Because the girl kept posting oh, my mentor is so wonderful.
Wow.
And then, from 2013 to 2014, she was in something called the BPN Book Club, which is described as 10 women talking about books in the Oakland/Bay Area.
What? I'm sorry you guys can't hear my facial expression right now.
What?
You
found out she's in a book club?
Yeah. And I actually found her current Instagram, and she is, I don't know, I'm not sure what she does now, but she obviously has a really cool life because she's constantly traveling to Mexico, Thailand. She did a Tennessee, New Mexico trip, all, pretty recently, and she does.
To any FBI agents listening now, I am not affiliated.
Oh, God. And this Halloween, she dressed up as Pepto-Bismol.
Okay, that's interesting, but what did she eat for dinner tonight? If you knew that, then you know it all. What's her blood type?
But yeah, I was just happy that I found her because every Christmas there's articles about what happened to this girl? We can't find her. But I found her.
All right, Liam Neeson.
We can't find her, but I found her. That was Eliz's child actor check-in. Sponsored by Nabisco.
Ooh.
I don't know why I said that.
Yeah, I would say, no, never mind.
Not
All
Nabisco?
right, so anything else about this before we talk about what Santa Claus 2 could possibly be about?
Well, let's just, so the movie did gangbusters at the box office, and as we mentioned earlier, it's now played basically every year on ABC something. Now it's called Freeform. But yeah, it made... $189 million worldwide.
Paved the way for Tim Allen in Toy Story and Billy Bob Horton. Here's a Who.
Billy Bob
Horton, Here's a Who, and Bad Santa.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, in 1994 it was, right?
Uh-huh.
That is like mad cash.
Yeah.
So,
and this movie was not expensive.
Yeah.
No. So, obviously there's a sequel called The Santa Claus 2, and
It doesn't have a subtitle.
I don't believe so.
Okay.
Have you guys seen Santa Claus 2?
I mean, I'm pretty sure I have.
Sure I did.
I have for sure.
I want to say that it's like a Mrs. Claus situation, right?
I'm not going to confirm or deny it.
Okay.
Yeah, probably that. I don't remember, but I'm sure I'll watch 5 minutes of it and be like, yep, I remember this now.
Yeah, I mean, I know what happens, but based on the end of this film, I would like to see a film. I mean, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't want to see this. But maybe the first 10 minutes of the film will be a Boyhood-style montage where Charlie is just, like, shaking the snow globe to see his dad during important moments in his life.
Yeah, I think so.
He's like, Dad, I'm about to kiss my first girl. What should I do, Santa? Well, does she have cookie-flavored chapstick on? Then if she doesn't, no thanks.
Ugh.
And then he shakes it again like, Dad, I'm about to take the SATs. And he's like, does that stand for Santa Attitude Test? Because if so, you're getting an A+. And then he's like, shakes it again. And he's like, Dad, I'm about to get married. And he shows up and he's like, make her the Mrs. Claus to your Mr. Baby Claus. No, I don't know what I'm saying. This is the movie I've envisioned. Give me all the money to make
Give me a minute to just laugh into the microphone.
I know that's not what happens, but we gotta speculate, whatever. So,
we should probably... Oh, no. Well, I would just say that when we talked about that we were doing the Santa Claus, our friend Val was horribly offended and started yelling at us, saying that there was not too many sequels of the Santa Claus. It's just the right amount of sequels for the Santa Claus because they're all masterpieces.
And I would like to point out that the premise of our podcast is not that there's too many sequels.
Yeah, no, it's not that there's too many sequels, but maybe they went on longer than expected.
Yeah.
Which I think is probably the true for this case.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't know there was. I guess I didn't know there was a third
I didn't
one.
know that.
Yeah, well, you do now.
I do, and so do you out there, America and beyond.
So
kind
watch
listener.
along and email us at sequelrights@gmail.com. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram at sequelrights and Facebook at facebook.com/sequelrights.
And please tweet us other boyhood moments that you'd like Charlie to see before he shakes the snow globe.
And, if Santa's still doing shit for you, like mowing your lawn, taking out your garbage, doing your laundry, let us know.
Yeah, let us know what Santa's up to. Subscribe, rate us, and review us on the iTunes. Give us the 5 stars because
it's our Christmas wish.
It is.
Yeah. And as we get ever closer to Christmas Day, we will be continuing on next week with the Santa Claus 2. See you then.
Bye-bye.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where those treetops listen and children listen to hear sleigh bells in the snow. The snow. So then I am dreaming of a white Christmas, with every Christmas card I write. May your days be merry and bright, and may all your Christmases be white.
I'm dreaming of a white Christmas, just like the ones I used to know, where the treetops listen and the children listen to hear of a white Christmas with every Christmas card I write.
May those days, may your days, may your days be merry and bright. And may all your Christmases be white.
Jingle bells,